Hey, welcome to this edition of Thrive. As always, I hope it finds you well and that no matter what season you are in life at the moment, that you're making the most of it. In fact, speaking of making the most of seasons, I wonder if I was to ask you how contented you are at the moment, what would you say? On a scale of 1 to 10, what number would you assign to your sense of contentment? You know, I think it's good to be contented. It's good to be satisfied with what you have in life. Indeed, Paul talks in Philippians chapter 4 about regardless of whether he's got plenty or whether he's struggling, he's learned to be content in his circumstances. But I think for most of us, our sense of contentment has more to do with a sense of arrival, a sense of achievement, a sense that all our ducks are lined up, that life is going well for us. And I say that because that type of contentment, in my view, leads to playing it safe. And safe is just another word for regrets. You see, progress is never created by contented people. Momentum is never generated by maintaining the status quo. If you want to live a full life, if you want to live a life with as few regrets as possible, you need what I would call divine discontentment. Divine discontentment is a restlessness with the status quo. It's an awareness that there's still more in you, that you have another chapter to write, that there's another song to be sung, that there's another hill to be taken, that there is another ministry to be stepped into, that you still have more in you than you are living out of or that you have experienced to this point. It's where dreams are birthed. It's where possibilities are imagined. Divine discontentment, I think, ushers in a new season. And the reason I say that is that I can't help but think, for example, of Luke chapter 4, where Jesus begins his ministry. And if you've been around the church, you know the story well, how he's in the synagogue and he's handed the scroll of the prophet Isaiah and he picks it up to read from it. And up until this point, Isaiah and all of the subsequent prophets spoke of a time that was yet to come. And because they were so familiar with this whole concept of a time that was yet to come, that wasn't their time, it's almost as though they had become content with circumstances, content with their life. And certainly in Jesus' day, they had begun to play it safe. And Jesus picks up the scroll, and as he reads from it, he changes the tense from speaking of a day that was to come to saying the day has arrived. The reason I love that story is that I think Jesus breaks the mold of safe. I think Jesus calls us to step out of safe, to step out of contentment with circumstance, to be content with near enough is good enough, and to break the mold of safe as we step out of that into more, whatever that might look like for you, whatever it looks like for me. You know, I think we all need a degree of divine discontentment in life in order not to slow down, not to settle, not to compromise, not to give up on dreams, not to miss opportunities. And I want to encourage you to be aware of the nature of contentment and to celebrate your contentment in circumstance, but never celebrate your contentment in achievement. Give thanks for what you've achieved. Be thankful for where you are in life, but never settle. Never play it safe, because when you do, you're going to miss opportunities and you're going to have regrets. If nothing else, Genesis teaches us that the world was created for you and I. So let's have a degree of divine discontentment, that we would keep looking over the wall for what's next. We would keep dreaming of new possibilities. We would keep pushing for more opportunity. We would keep striving to see things change, that we would not be bound by the status quo, but that we would break free from that and keep momentum building as we look forwards to the fullness of life that God has for us. So that's my encouragement for you. Don't settle. Don't be content in the wrong things. Seek to build momentum. Seek progress. Seek what's next as you continue to go from strength to strength. Until next time, God bless you.